What's up, my Plocasters and Plocastettes? It's your favorite Star Wars viewers, Paul and also Evan. And this week we are watching Star Wars Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 6, Tribe. It looks like we might find a certain species from Kashyyyk involved with the Bad Batch. Last episode, though, if you haven't checked out a reaction, go ahead and do that. We might not have been the biggest fans, yeah. So I'm really interested to see how this one goes.
If I remember correctly, we already know this Wookiee, I believe, from the trailer. This is Gunji from the Jedi Younglings arc in the Clone Wars. This one, I think I have a little bit higher expectations for than the last two. Yeah, alright. Let's get into Tribe.
Wow, that looks good.
Oh, yeah, that looks really good.
Got the ship.
Are they sidelining my man Echo again?
I get it. Subtitle spoiler.
The subtitles gave it away, bro. That's so lame. I couldn't just say creature growls. You have to say Wookiee growls. Like,
I could not tell that was a Wookiee audibly. I just read it.
I don't have the volume that high either. Oh, that one I could tell.
Oh, no.
Oh, get off him!
Oh, he's looking for his saber?
Yeah, he needs his gear, bro.
Oh, whoa, dude! Order 66.
He's Vanguard, guys. What was it?
Vanguard Axis.
Yeah.
I think. Either that or it's an actual axis on a planet. I don't know.
The Wookiee.
Ooh.
Buyer. Oh, is he? Oh, he's gonna...
Oh.
Wow, let's go! They're like, what?
Does Omega know what Jedi are? Definitely,
I would imagine
right?
so.
Yeah, Order
they have
66
like
stuff.
lessons and on Camino.
It's not that far in the future. Oh, is that bacon?
Oh, look at that space bacon.
Bacon,
Oh.
bro. Oh, what I would do for a slice of bacon.
Oh, he's probably starving.
He's sniffing that, John.
Oh yeah.
Rusty, but I think
Hunter speaks Wookiee.
Gunji.
Let's go. Wasn't that one of the first planets they captured too, the Empire?
Yeah.
been to Kashyyyk.
Nobody said anything to that. Record's just like nobody even acknowledged he was there. That was so weird.
Let's go. Kashyyyk definitely a top 10 planet, and it's not number 10.
Wow, that really narrows it down. Gotta say, these plants are looking really good.
You right.
Look at Gunji.
Oh wow, they heard you say it, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, he hasn't been here since the Jedi.
From his
Like,
dreams.
Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because they took him.
When he was a little baby.
Oh, Kinraths!
Were they
That's
fallen
really
order?
sick. No, KOTOR.
Ah,
You had to fight a bunch of these on Kashyyyk. That's dope.
let's go.
Wow.
Gunji.
That's so weird. Little by little, KOTOR's being brought back into canon, guys. Oh,
Remnants of
well,
the
the
battle.
village was straight ahead. That's recent. That's got to be recent. It's still on fire.
Yeah,
They missed it by like a day. What are the odds of that?
It's literally still on fire.
This music is wild.
Unless you think fire could burn that, like if it was a forest fire, because it doesn't feel like they're saying, "Oh, someone just came through here." Oh, unless they are rumble approaching.
Yeah. You were saying.
Okay. Oh,
Bro, and they
okay.
have. Oh my gosh. They still on about
Okay.
their hunt. They love hunting Wookiees. Oh no, that's. Yeah.
I'll take you all on.
He will too.
What a Chad.
Oh my god. They have like alarm sound.
Whoa. I've never seen those before. Oh, bowcaster?
Oh
Yes,
my
sir.
goodness. Oh, let's go.
Okay.
Wookiee village.
Taken to the trees, I guess.
Wookiee village. Oh, there's the elder. This isn't Gunji's village, is it? Just a random one.
He doesn't know what village he's from.
Yeah, see. He's like, I don't even know you.
Oh,
Ooh, dang.
so they are working with clones.
Yeah. Maybe they're hired by the Empire because they're so good at hunting Wookiees.
We need to notify Imperial Command. Not if I find the Jedi first.
Oh, you dumb idiot! Oh,
Why would you say that out loud?
I thought we were gonna get an Inquisitor.
That would have been cool.
The Wookiees were our allies. For
Facts.
years.
I feel like Echo's
stay
being
and help you
like a
fight
big
them.
moral compass this season.
They can't run far.
Found him.
Hey, they're right there. Oh my god.
Dude, these big monkey things are crazy. Think about how much food they have to eat in a day.
Oh, so much.
Oh.
I'm hungry.
Oh, right. yeah, needing dinner, dude.
Jedi.
Oh, is that like a net? Oh, flamethrower.
It's been a while since we've heard someone angrily go Jedi. So that was cool.
I know from a lot of Battlefront experience, lightsabers cannot deflect flamethrowers. Just putting that out there.
Fire can't go through doors. It's not a ghost.
Pierce.
Yeah. And then Shang comes back later in this series with like, ghosts can't go through doors. It's not fire or something like the opposite.
Yeah.
Dude, they're wrapping him up.
In the web. Did you just speak Wookiee?
Look at that utensil. Oh, they're double dipping. Oh, look at that.
Both just kids. But they don't
They could just.
Oh, that's kind of sad,
Yeah.
actually.
not in this galaxy.
All will find a new path.
Damn, that was mad inspirational. All right. Easily better than the last two episodes.
Yeah.
I do like the little parallels that they have with Gunji and Omega and how they're children, but they don't really get to be children. And I do like how we constantly see Omega always just trying. She acts like a child, obviously, but she's always open to doing things. She was there praying at the tree with him, which I thought was really cool. Like her learning their ways to like support him. She always wants to help everybody, which is awesome. And I did like that parallel, and it was just cool to be back on Kashyyyk in general. Just like seeing the environment, especially with this animation, was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Seeing other Wookiees was really cool. The fact that Gunji's like home now, I guess he's just gonna stay there, I would imagine.
It definitely better than last episode. I don't know if I'm putting it top 2, but I did enjoy it. It felt, and I know we both said this, like a little more gravitas, a little more
There's a little more meat on the
thematic.
bone.
Yeah, like even though, and my biggest gripe is that it's still kind of just a kind of closed little bottle episode. But even though it was, we still explored, like, especially with the Wookiees and their culture, and the trees. The whole plan, they said, is from the trees. Like,
Right.
that's how they solved it with the Trandoshans and the Empire. But then, yeah, the I guess relationship. Yeah, relationship. I think they're friends between Omega and Gunji. Was really cool. I did like that. I like that scene at the end, and then what Hunter was saying, and then Yana, I forget the elder Wookiee. Yeah.
Mhm.
And she was kind of like, the prodigal son has returned.
Right.
Which is cool. Gunji doesn't know anything about his culture. He just knows the Jedi ways, because from birth, or not birth, very, very young,
Yeah.
he was taken and raised to be raised in the Force. So it's really cool. And I'm always loving Kashyyyk. I think Kashyyyk is one of those kind of more sci-fi-ish worlds, or maybe even more fantasy-ish worlds, where we have these things like those spider creatures, those big monkey things, the Wookiee home world. Like, it's cool. I like it. And I like the their culture and what's the word for it? Like, I guess spirituality of the planet.
There you go.
It's really cool. Yeah.
Vibe.
And it looked, yeah, vibe. It's
There you
definitely
go.
vibing out.
Vibing.
And on top of vibes, it looked awesome, like you already said.
Definitely. Yeah, the Kinraths, which were in Knights of the Old Republic. I don't know if that's where they originated, but they were definitely in Knights of the Old Republic, and you had to fight a lot of them. So I feel like there are a couple ways they could have tweaked this to make it a little more powerful. Like, I was expecting them to show up and then look for Gunji's village, and like you think, oh, he doesn't remember, but he would. I don't know, like maybe he's able to feel which one it is through the Force or something. But I feel like it would have been a little more powerful if his original village was the one that was destroyed. Maybe bring more of a connection because, like, it's sad, but it's not even his. You know, he just shows up. He's like, hey, sucks that you guys are all dead, but you know, I'm here. Like little things like that. I feel like they could have probably improved, but I don't think there was anything necessarily bad about this one. Generally, in media where there's a child character that has to grow up really quickly, which is kind of what they're going for here with Omega, especially at the end there. Generally, that character does not act like a child. You know what I mean? They act like an adult. Like, if you look at Ellie in The Last of Us, she's 14, but she's basically an adult through her actions and the way she's like she's had to grow up so fast. Like children characters that are forced through situations like this, I feel like normally they act that way, as if they've been through stuff like this. And sometimes it's like they say they're like, yeah, she's, you know, she doesn't have to get a normal childhood, but she kind of acts like she's always having fun. She's eating like fun snacks. She's meeting fun people. She's like, you know, meeting Wookiees and learning about their culture, like, which is exploratory things that kids would go through, I feel like. So I feel like it's a little weird that I don't think what they're doing with her is bad by any means, but I think it's a little weird that she hasn't matured a little bit more. I feel like at this point we would have seen, like, we've seen, like, her character model is bigger and she's able to do more physical things, but for the most part, she generally seems like the same character that we saw at the beginning. And I feel like at this point, especially if they're pushing the narrative that she's a child who didn't get a childhood because of the wars and the state of the galaxy, I feel like because they're pushing that, I feel like she should be a little bit more hardened, or, you know, less childlike. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think. Well, I want to kind of add to what you're saying. I agree. I think she's been kind of stagnant. I don't think there's been a lot of change to who she is.
Right.
But I don't necessarily think she has to give up her kind of innocence. I think I'm fine if she is still childish or a kid at heart. But she has been through a lot. Like, she was kidnapped by bounty hunters and stuff. One of her closest friends ditches her for their enemies. Like, that should harden you a little bit.
Yeah.
And you still could be a kid at heart.
Yeah,
I think
for
Wrecker is a good example of a huge beast of a man, but kind of that sweet, funny inside, that warm presence. And I think having that brings a lot to the dynamic of the group. But her, and I think a lot of the other Bad Batch members, are kind of staying like, well, I kind of knew this about her. Like,
yeah,
I knew she was like about all, like, I agree. It's borderline stagnant now.
Yeah.
Where I don't want her to like be a hard fought, like, oh, I don't have time for silly games. I need to get the mission done.
Extreme.
Not that, but have a little reflection and be like, man, like, the world is a scary place, and sometimes we don't have time for silly games. Sometimes I have to stand up and do the right thing, or something like that.
Yeah, like maybe as the show goes on, like, she gets a little bit more bags under her eyes, or she's, you know, is less bubbly and less excited about things, while still having that every once in a while. Like, she'll still have her fun with Wrecker, but like, and scenarios where you think she'd be excited about something, she's like all business, you know, just a little something like that. And that's one of the reasons I think a lot of these episodes are harmful to the show, whereas the episode itself is not bad. Yes. Like the last two episodes, they're not bad. Like, the quality of them is fine, but they don't really add anything to anyone. And then you have a moment like at this one where they're trying to push this narrative of what these soldiers are going through and what Omega is going through, especially being a child, having to be forced through all of these bad things that have happened to her. And we got some, like, she was talking about how her home was destroyed too, but, like, I feel like at this point she should have developed a little bit more, like, in one direction. Think of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, another good comparison. Like Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, like, not to that extreme, obviously, because it is a kid show.
Mr. White.
But, like, just from how he starts and how he ends is, like, almost two entirely different people. And obviously that is an extreme. But, like, I feel like with Omega being, like, one of the, like, the hearts of this series, I feel like she should be something. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say they should do this and this and that, because, like, I don't know how to write TV. But it feels like we're just kind of going through the motions. And then when they try to slip in little things that are like, no, this is really deep, you're like, yeah, it kind of is, but I haven't seen much of it. Like, that was our big problem with Common Ground last season, was like they tried to pitch this clones helping a separatist idea, and like, oh, this goes against everything we know because we fought the separatists, but now we have to help one. And then, like, nothing happened with that. They just had a cheeky little one-liner at the end, and, like, we're done. So I just wish that they would take those storylines that they're talking about and just push them, like, the extra mile, just go a little bit further to actually give us more compelling things for these characters. Because, like, I'd argue the most compelling thing about this episode didn't even have to do with any of them. It was about Gungi and the Wookiees and what the Empire's been doing to their planet, which is cool, and I like seeing that, and I think that's a good plot point to follow with, because what the Empire's doing, it just reflects what they're doing everywhere. But this is, once again, seeming like the Bad Batch are kind of sidelined. The only thing we really get from them is, like, oh, we want to help Gungi because he's a kid, and we know what it's like to have a kid that loses stuff, and we're the good guys. We already know all that. We already know that they're fighting the Empire. So it's, you know, it just feels, it's getting a little, like, repetitive, and, like, we're kind of walking in quicksand.
Yeah, and that's my biggest problem with it, is that it's so disconnected from, I want to call it the main storyline, but now it doesn't even feel like it. But them and Crosshair and the Empire, because they had the perfect opportunity to bring in the Empire when they noticed there was a Jedi, and then the main Trandoshan guy's like, no, not if I get him first. So it's like, all right, come on. Like, it felt kind of not like a cop out, but more of a missed opportunity to where, like, no, like, we can hop right back into it. Like, all right, they bring Genji home, then they get caught by the Empire, and now we're right back to them, Crosshair and Cody, and that whole thing.
Right.
But no, it's just another in a bottle by itself, just a Gungi episode.
Yeah.
No one does anything else. Which, again, like, it's fine, but it's taken the spotlight away from that storyline, which, in my opinion, is the most compelling. The Bad Batch show and the Bad Batch storyline is what I want to see. And I think that's, like, it's almost like a little on the nose. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
He was literally like, "Oh, I have to report this in." He's like, "No, don't report it in."
Yeah.
But yeah, and this one definitely better than the last few. So I guess we're kind of getting back to the right place, but I definitely want more of, you know, I mean, we've been saying it for a while, but development within the squad, and more of Crosshair and the Empire and Rampart, Cody, and who knows, even Rex if he has a part to play. But I don't know. It's again, we've said it for a few weeks now. It feels weird to dislike a good episode for those reasons. So I don't know why they keep doing it. But
yeah, I feel like at this point, it's just, we kind of have to accept that they're just not really gonna do much with the Bad Batch. Like, this is who they are, and it's gonna just be about plot instead of character, which I was fine with if they were gonna go with the Omega angle, where it's like them learning about her, and it's her character arc and what she goes through. But again, like we said earlier, she, like, emotionally anyway, that we see, she doesn't really go through much that is actually visible to the audience. Because sure, like, she's she's upset that Kamino gets destroyed. It's probably really weighs on her, and she's upset when, you know, things go wrong or people die, but we never really see anything from her that is beyond what we've already seen from her. She never gets aggressively, like, she never gets overly mad to the point where you're like, whoa, that's new. That's like some deep emotional stuff that's coming out there. We never see her get sad to that point either. Like, so it's like, I'm not saying that nothing has happened to her, it's just that we're not like seeing it, I guess, you know, like we're not
we're not probing that, we're not exploring the ends of her character, we're kind of just taking what we have at face value, and that's all they're giving us. Think of, I mean, it's hard to compare any character to Ahsoka, but think of her best arcs, Ahsoka's best arcs, getting kicked out of the Order, living on her own, and then she's the Siege of Mandalore. Like, these are all extremes of her character, and is pushing her and melding her into the person she is. And I see no reason why we can't do something like that with, and even if they just want to focus on Omega, and like you said, not the Bad Batch, it's just the Bad Batch around Omega. But they're kind of not. So I don't know. I feel like it's a perfect opportunity to like focus in on one group of people and one story and take it far and explore those territories that is so powerful and so cool. It's such a awesome thing to do and makes for fan favorite moments. But I don't know. What do you think? Gunji's returning home is going to be people's top 5 fan moments? I don't think so. No. But I know that some of my favorite moments are with Ahsoka. Right. So I know they can do it. But I don't know. I don't know, dude. I wish we could put it together a little more, but it is what it is, I guess.
You can give me whatever kind of plot you want, whatever droid attack on whatever planet, whatever plan and whatever method that the Republic uses to take down the Separatists or vice versa or whatever. You can do all of that, and still, my favorite scenes are going to be scenes like when Ahsoka leaves the temple, and when Fives dies, and Order 66, like during the Siege of Man, like it's just, I guess this is a personal preference thing, but that's just what I prefer. And you know, I guess our expectations were different for this show than what we're getting, which seems to be, you know, just like fun action stuff with cool clones that we know, which is fine. But I feel like we were expecting more, especially with the team that's behind this that we know can do amazing things. There has been no plot, like even with the plot. When it's like, okay, I mean, you give us a plot for the season and they're doing character stuff as like the B whatever. Even that we haven't gotten, because there's no story so far. We are 6 episodes in, and there is no, like, you can't sit down and tell somebody what the story of this season is. You just can't yet, because there is none. there is no, oh, the Empire's doing this. Like, no, they're just there chilling. The Batch is just chilling, doing stuff, and I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, and like, I'm sure they can have 4 great episodes in a row. And like a lot of the Clone Wars things is like a 4-part arc, and they're really, really good. And I hope maybe we'll see that. But this show has the unique ability to have much longer storylines. Again, we're focusing on only the Bad Batch, and I don't know why. Why not do a whole season long of setup and development, so that way when we get to the end, the payoff can be so much more than just 4, like, and maybe it'll be good, whatever. But think of the heights you could reach if you did start setting things up now. You know, I mean, 6 episodes in, and I guess we kind of have set up with Crosshair a tiny little bit.
Yeah.
But like, think about if every episode there is a little something more and something else is getting passed along. Like it's like, I don't know, dude. It's like there's a potential, I think, is the hardest thing.
Think about a lot of the show's biggest moments. Something like Kamino being destroyed. Most of the emotional weight from that doesn't come from stuff in the Bad Batch. It comes from like Attack of the Clones and Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And plus Bad Batch. So that big emotional payoff wasn't even thanks to this show primarily. It was other like supplementary stuff that gives you that emotional connection to that. So even within their own like peak moments, there's not much that they've there's a handful, but there's not much that they've, you know, moments where you're just like, that was something else. There's very few of those, which I think is unfortunate. Next week, we have the mid-season sort of dual episode drop, I believe. I think it's 7 and 8. It might be 8 and 9, but I'm pretty sure it's 7 and 8. So, I don't have low expectations for those episodes. Because we know that this can be a good show. There are good episodes, and they do really good things sometimes. Yeah. So, I'm thinking maybe this little two-parter could be... you know, getting us back on track a little bit here. Maybe have some semblance of a plot or something.
It better be.
Like, even just put Rex in there. That'll appease me. At this point, you know, it's whatever. Yeah. We're excited for those. So, make sure you stick around for those episodes. We will have them up next week at some point. That should be exciting. Let us know what you thought about this episode or the season. Do you feel the same? Do you feel different? Are our expectations too high? Is the show not good? Whatever you think, let us know. Make sure you check out the playlist down below. Watch all the previous episodes from Season 1 and Season 2. We also have a reviews and breakdowns, discussions playlist. You can check that out. Yeah, I think that's everything. That's going to do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. And we will see you next week for the double episode drop.